Welcome. I'm Trina Medvis, owner of Fit for Females, and today our training is on your better evening habits guide to bye-bye late night cravings, to just basically set yourself up for better success at night. And this is not just going to be for nighttime, but this is going to carry over with discipline and consistency through all of the aspects of your life. In fact, when you do this, you will get results for whatever you're looking for. So if you do not have the download, go to fitforfemales.com/TWT005. That is the first thing for you to do. I want you to fill out this sheet, print it, do it on your phone, however you like to do it. I am an action-based coach. Now, for anyone who's ever live on my replays, you are commenting in the chat. If you're catching this on a replay, you are putting your comments below. And my goal for you is you'll have a better evening routine clarity by the end of this class. So here we go. I am a coach. I've been a personal trainer, life coach, fitness instructor. I have a lot of certifications since 1999. And my unhealthy habit at night was wine and chips. I no longer drink wine. I gave it up in 2019, but those chips on my evil twin side are coming back to me. In fact, they just did, and I created the 10-day reset to get myself back. And I always ask myself, why? So if I ask you to share what is your evening routine habit that you know you want to kick, would you know what it is? And if you do, put it in the chat, send it to me, reply back to an email, anything. I read all of the emails, but I want to know. And I want you to think about maybe why that is. And as you think right now and listen to my coaching, mine was stress, habit, and routine. That's it. That's all it was. It was the habit of the chips, the crunch of the chips, the bag, all of those pieces that go along with it. And it became a habit, became a routine. And I stopped both of those. And these strategies will work for you, but you have to put the work in. And before we do any of this, we have to identify. So my first question to you is asking, what foods or drink do you reach for at night? Or what are the habits? Is it late night snacking? Is it sweets? Is it wine? Is it sugar? Is it technology? It could be food, drinks, or technology. And write this down as you are in this training. You're doing live actionable steps right now. That is the best gift that I can give you. So what are the things that you do? So my community complains of wanting snacks at night. They didn't eat enough during the day. They drink, they're up too late. They are watching TV or scrolling through their phones. They're drinking wine. They're eating and drinking things that they just don't want to do. So what are the foods, the drinks, or things you reach for at night? Identify them right now. So step one is identify. And this is what I like to do. I am a Post-it girl. So I like to make sure I would write habits in real time. And then I would write a little note that says identify. This is what you're going to do in your worksheet. Identify. This is great for kids. What are your habits when you come home from school? What are your habits in the morning? I go through this with my teenage young adults. What are the habits and triggers that are going on with you running out the door a little bit behind? Then, so we're going to identify what we reach for and what time does this trigger happen. So a lot of us can experience that afternoon crash. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you're craving some sugar. I want sweets with my tea. I hear this all the time. Anybody else? Anybody else out there feeling that? What time are you triggered at? We're talking about nighttime here specifically, but you can apply this to anything. So what time is it? For me, it used to always be when I would come back from teaching boot camp. I was all wired up. I was like, I'm going to have a glass of wine and some chips. I just rocked those girls so hard and I feel so good and all the energy's buzzing around and my adrenaline was pumping and it was 9:30 at night. Not an ideal time to be eating or drinking. What time are you triggered by? The other thing I was triggered by is my kids going to bed. I was like, it's mom time, a little free time for myself. What time are you triggered? So identify the habits and the time. What time is this happening at? And then the third thing I want you to think about is what triggers you? You have to be able to self-identify in order to make a change. So what triggers you? So for me recently, I went right back to eating chips on the couch, and it was turning into a habit because I wasn't quite eating enough during the day of my protein choices. I need a little bit more protein where I'm at in my life. And I would sit there and I would start snacking, and then it just became a routine. I wasn't hungry. So the trigger was that I was a little bit hungry and I could have had a hard boiled egg. I could have had anything else, but I was reaching for the chips, the crunch, the feeling, and it brought me back to it. Sometimes it's your TV, commercials, it's the phone, it's social media. I'm bored. I deserve it. What are the triggers? So, what triggers you? So, these are the three questions you need to ask yourself. Jot some ideas down right now. And then after this, come back to this replay. So identify, what is it? What is happening? It doesn't have to be in perfect sentences and paragraphs. You just jot down what's triggering me. What's the habits that I'm creating at night? Are you going to bed early enough? Are you getting enough sleep? What are you feeling? Now we're going to flip the switch to our evening routine. So I want you to give some thought as to what happens after dinner in your house. What does your evening look like? Now, for those of you that are working out after dinner, you might need to have a little extra snack at night to make sure that you're feeling full and satiated. For those of you not working out, do you need to have a little bit of a snack because you had dinner at 4 or 5 p.m.? What does your evening routine look like after dinner? So for me, I eat, I coach. I will sometimes have a little bit of a snack at 7:15. I make sure it's high protein because I've eaten dinner early. I wind down, I get my morning routine done the night before. And then I want you to ask yourself these three questions. So what does your evening look like after dinner? What are you currently doing that you know is not serving you? The second thing is we want to look at, what do you want to do instead? So an ideal evening routine, to give you as an example for me, would be that I'm not eating past 7:30 p.m. I'm asleep by 10:30. And in that 7:30 to 10:30, I'm winding down. I move backwards 2 hours before bed. So if I want to be in bed at 10:30, 8:30, my routine starts. I'm prepping my clothes the night before, filling my water bottle. I take a look at my calendar to see, is there anything popping up that I've forgotten about? I get all my things ready for the next day, whether I'm leaving the house, staying home, and there's no kids asking big questions past 8:30. We're talking quietly, we're dimming the lights. I'm saying, Mom doesn't deal with big things past 8:30 p.m. So anything you want to ask me early. And that's not always perfect, but it's like 90% of the time, unless something comes up, that's a big deal with my kids. That's how I want to be. I want to be wound down at 8:30. I don't want my brain rifling and running because I'm an overthinker at night. Do you ever put your head down the pillow and you're like, I could write a book? And what stops you? What gets in your way? So in my example, my kids would be knocking on my door, asking me questions. Can I do this? Can I do that? And I'd say, guess what? Go to my desk, write your questions on my notepad that's open. It's always open. Ask me in the morning. I'll look at it. That's what was stopping me and getting in my way. What is stopping you? So, what does your evening routine look like? How do you want it to look instead? And what stops you? You have to do this work. And if you have kids or roommates or other people, explain to them, this is my evening routine. I want to wind down by 8:30. And I would prefer, if you have anything to go through my brain here or you need me, to ask me before then. If it's an emergency, of course, you can come and see me. But if it's not, will you please write it down on a sheet of paper and leave it wherever that goes for you? Next up, I want you to create an I am statement. These simple yet very, very powerful tools and tidbits that I'm giving you work. They have not just worked for me, they've worked with thousands of people that I've coached over the years. I've just put this together in a pretty little bundle for you. I am. So I want you to think about 2 months from now, 60 days. If that's too big, start with a week from now, 14 days, 21 days, anything. Write the goal as though you've conquered it. So mine would sound like this. I am winding down at 8:30 at night. I am so relaxed. I am no longer serving my family. I am no longer organizing. I am no longer scrolling on my phone. I am no longer drinking or eating. I am feeling so relaxed. I am sleeping so well. I am so mentally relaxed. So I really want you to think about, what does your I am statement look like at night? I am calm. I am peaceful. I am organized for the next day. I am full. I am satisfied. I am, what is it? Because you have to think about you finally crushing it. It can be very simple. I am calm and relaxed. And sleep was one of the biggest things for myself that I really, really struggled with. And since I've taken care of this, years in the making, day after day, minute after minute, you're going to be so powerful. So, a couple of evening choices for restful sleep. I love to give you little tidbits, real actionable things. Instead of me and my chip example, what's yours? Healthy shakes with protein powder. I usually go light on bananas, any kind of fruit that is high sugar. I usually avoid that at night. So I would do berries. I would do an apple with some peanut butter. I would do any kind of protein. If it's a nice clean protein powder, I have one that I love. If not, you're using things like hemp hearts, pumpkin seed, pea protein, minimal fruit. Focus on greens at night. So if you're really hungry, do that. Make something for yourself. Have an egg. Try to avoid all the carbs that spike our insulin. So things like toast, bread, that's going to kind of spike it up. And I have tons of recipes in my book, of course, Trina's Kitchen Healthy Food Made Easy. I love my immune boosting latte. Now, once again, you don't want to do this too late so that now you're going to be waking up because you have to go to the washroom. Tart cherry juice is a great one. When I got off wine, I liked the carbonation of wine. And so what I did was I did tart cherry juice in warm water. It really helped. Or I did it cold, whichever one I was feeling. And tart cherry juice, why can't I say tart cherry juice? It is really good for winding you down at night. Make sure it's 100% pure, has some natural melatonin, and it can support us in our sleep, which is our circadian rhythm. So that's what I did. Try any of those. And also things like nuts, so higher fat, little lower on the glycemic index. Herbal teas really helped me, again, getting off of wine. Some of my favorites are listed here. I make my lemon ginger water. I do it either warm or cold, depending on what you feel like. Anything warm is going to help you settle. Lavender tea, sleepy time blends, they're always such a good choice because they help signal it's time to rest. Very helpful for me. Skip the sugar. High carb evening snacks are going to spike your insulin and they're going to keep you up longer. So things like chips and ice cream and all of that stuff are not the best choice, even though that's what we want to do. They do not rev you down, they rev you up. So we want to think about those easier snacks that calm us. So there's a couple examples here, my caffeine-free latte, and I want you to think about this as I leave you. What you do in the morning sets you up for the night. So remember what I said? I looked at my calendar that I start at about 8:30 at night. I'm prepping my breakfast the night before. That's another habit I love to do because I used to wake up, find out there was no bananas for my smoothie, get all upset. There's no hard-boiled eggs. So these are a few things that you can do. Prep your breakfast the night before. Look at your calendar. What needs to happen during the day? Can you drop anything from your schedule? Can you automate it, eliminate it, delegate it to somebody else? These four things will really help. This, your calendar, prepping your, those are just two I gave you, but prepping your water bottle, your clothes the night before, really going to help you. And I love to have a failure plan because you mean well, you have good intentions, but when all else fails and you're snacking at night, did you eat enough during the day? That is so important. So going back to that early evening supper, did you eat too early? Are you dehydrated? That can cause hunger cues, even mildly dehydrated. And then ask yourself, is this snack or drink serving my goals? If I'm really not hungry and you go and you eat it anyway, is this serving me? Go back to that I am statement. Is your goal, I am feeling bloated. I am feeling frustrated because I'm eating and snacking at night. I am feeling, no, negative. We want to feel positive. Practice that. So close your day with intention. This is a big thing. You can call this gratitude, you can call this happiness, whatever you want to do. But I want you to close every day with intention, with gratitude. It is so easy to tell me all the negative things in your life. In fact, when I ask my members, what's going well? What's a win? They're like, they start to tell me, well, I tried to not eat past, and I go, that's not gratitude. What are you grateful for? These are small, consistent things that create a ripple effect. When you throw a pebble into the water, it ripples out. So if you can say to yourself, I am so grateful for, you start this in your evening routine. I'm so grateful that my family is staying calm. I'm so grateful that I'm full and I'm not reaching for snacks. I'm so grateful for A, B, and C. Intention. I intend to wake up tomorrow morning and be relaxed, well slept, calm. If you can practice this, it is going to change the game with your brain and your mindset. So I always love to say thank you. You're a champ. You're a rock star. You need to put in the work to improve your health, your fitness, your mindset. Your evening rituals go to everything. They are going to start you up for the next day, whether you're behind, whether you're stressed, whether you're late, right? And I'm relentless and giving you action steps to create the change that you need. So, what is it that you need to do right now? Leave me a comment below, put it in the chat if you're live, and tell me what step you are going to implement. Don't just watch this, don't just sit there. Tell me what you need to do. So, for me, part of my evening routine is doing mobility work. I have been dishing out so many stretch fit classes, just winding down, moving my body any way I feel like it, doing a little bit of stretching, just 5 minutes of mobility work. I am doing this at after 7:30 p.m., sometime between 7:30 and 8:30. This is my new routine. I have to stay accountable so that a year from now, when you come back to my stuff, I can say, guess what? Remember when I ran that training on better evening routines and I said that I was doing this mobility? It is part of my routine because right now it isn't yet. I have to have it in my little book. I have a book here. In fact, I'm tracking it in real time right now that says, let me read it to you. Stretch mobility yoga. This is my real time, and I've done it 5 days this week, 5 out of 5, but I have to write it down and remember it. So I want to know from you what you will be doing. I see comments that I will prep healthy foods so it's just as easy to grab as snack foods. Perfect. Tell me what healthy foods you're going to prep. If you can take it even a step further, what are those healthy foods that you want to prep? I see stretching before bed, prepping meals. Oh, stretching before bed feels so good. Just go right in your bed and do it. Prepping meals for the next day earlier when I get home. And I'm going to ask you, what is earlier? What time is that? You are writing this down on your sheet. What time is it? I see going to bed early enough to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. What do you have to do? What do you have to identify that stops you from doing that? Chocolate. I see that. We need to cut up veggies, snack bites, and pre-portioned nuts. When are you going to do that? When are you going to cut up veggies? Look at their faces are like this. Come on. Is she going to keep asking me questions? Cut up veggies, snack bites, and pre-portioned nuts. This is how I coach because it's easy to say you're going to do something, but I have to schedule it in my planner and make sure that I have the time for that. Is that going to take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes? This is what you get when you get me as a coach. I am relentless at making you think about the next step. So she says the details. Oh, the details are the plan that makes it work. Yes, it is. The details. What are your details? Get more detailed. Really include it. So I want to hear what you're going to do, what time, what's this going to look like, cutting up veggie snack bites and pre-portioned nuts. I have a program called 10-Day Reset. It is amazing at kickstarting you. You know that fitness, nutrition, wellness, and mindset, they're a circle. Anyone who tells you if you just eat right, you'll lose weight. If you just work out, you'll lose weight. A bunch of baloney. Okay? I need to assign a day for prep, Monday night and Friday AM. So you said I need to assign rather than I am going to do it Monday night at and Friday AM. Do you see this person here? This is not a joke. This is in real time. I need to assign a day for prep. Great. Can you look at your calendar right now and tell me what time that is on Monday and Friday AM? What time's Friday AM? Friday AM is 7 AM. Is it 10 AM? Some people it's 5 AM, 4 AM. I want you to really dive into this. And if you don't have a copy of the guide and the worksheet, go to fitforfemales.com/TWT005. Okay, let's see. I've got the comments now. Friday night after boot camp with you. I love that. Friday right after boot camp with you. So I know that's 10 AM and I know I can follow up with you and everyone in class can follow up with you because you're live in class 10 AM, you're going to your kitchen and you're prepping your veggies, your snacks, and your pre-portioned nuts. That's happening 100%. I need to come home from work earlier, get there earlier so I can leave at 4, then come home and prep, okay, for dinner. All right, so that's an alarm on your phone. That's an alarm on your phone. Get out, leave. Do you see how this works? Okay, I wish you the best. Put this into action. Of course, find me at fitforfemales.com. Go right to the contact us button. I'm all over Instagram. You can find me there. I want you to put this into action. You got this.